Hey, my friend, you're in for a treat on this video. I'm going to take you through a case study of one of my coaching students who made $70,000 net profit flipping a house using the real estate fundamentals. So be sure to watch this video from start to end. Hit the like button. You're in for a treat. You're going to get lots and lots of nuggets for your own investing business. I hope you enjoy. Hit that subscribe button. Give me some comments and let's go.
Rock and roll. So what's up, everybody? Hope everybody is doing great on the call today. So let's outline kind of what we're gonna do. Let's set our intentions for this call. So like always, my intention or my goal, with all, whenever I'm speaking, when I'm coaching, teaching, motivate, educate, inspire, and equip you guys to go out and take action. So that's what we're going to try to do. Try to work in a little bit of motivation. We're going to work in some information, right? So we can motivate you, we can inspire you, but more importantly, or as importantly, educate you and equip you to go out and take action. So everyone say hi to Becky. Some of you may remember Becky. Becky was in our program for quite some time, and she's kind of moved on to greener pastures and bigger paychecks, right, Becky?
I wouldn't say greener pastures, but yeah, we're slowly getting there.
Well, you're flipping houses in Splendora and all over, out in the sticks. So I would say it's a little bit greener pastures, right?
Yeah, it's moving up and moving on.
Cool. All right, so let's go through. Let us go through this. So let's talk about. Let's set a little intention here. Use my little handy dandy guy here, and we're going to erase this. Cool. So let's go through the 7 fundamentals with Becky, and after that, Lynn, we're going to talk about Lynn's deal because Lynn's working on a deal. Congratulations, by the way, you're officially under contract, right, Lynn? Woohoo! All right, so Lynn's under contract on the deal as well, so we're going to dig into that. Some of the closing coordination transaction process. So we're going to talk about that after we talk about Becky's case study. So let's run through essentially the 7 fundamentals of this deal. So let's start where we always start, right? We're going to start with mindset here. Okay. We're going to start with mindset. So mindset, this thing is not easy to write with, and I already automatically have bad handwriting, so apologize if my D's look like a P or whatever. So Becky, let's talk about mindset a little bit. Let's talk about where you were, a couple of years ago, and kind of what led you to executing and doing this deal where you made a nice payday on your flip. Are we calling this a home run? Is this a home run?
Did you say it needs to be over 100,000 for a home run?
Well, what is your definition of a home run?
Oh, I think it's a home run. I mean, it was a 51. It kind of came out to a 51% deal.
51% of basically the ARV of what you bought it for, right?
Yes.
Nice.
But no, I don't believe it, Becky. Those deals don't exist in today's market. They're just not out there. Yada yada yada. Excuse, story that we always hear. So, all right. So what tell everybody just kind of like a 2-minute, bio on who you are, where you were at investing wise a couple of years ago and leading up to this deal.
Okay. Well, I was a teacher and I was tired of teaching, and I grew up in a construction household. Always have loved construction, worked with my dad out on the houses and on the roofs and did everything. And so wanted to get into flipping houses, which is what he did, along with new builds and all. Mm-hmm. So I had built a new house for like $182,000. I decided to put it on the market to get out my equity. Was able to sell it for $305 and use that equity to buy a house in Anahuac, because I was looking on the MLS. I didn't know anything about I didn't know there was a whole network out there. I was doing this all on my own. Flipped the house in Anahuac and moved back to Kingwood. and started learning that there's a whole network out there. There's all kinds of knowledge. And so went to several meetups and everything, finally hooked up with Brant. And yeah, he helped me learn how to find the homes. I wasn't good at wholesaling then, and I'm not good at wholesaling now. That is not my interest. And I'm just going to have to find some way to get over that, because my interest is in the house itself, the houses. So found this house with wholesalers. I think the wholesale gal I had, I don't think she really knew what she had. I think she was fairly new at wholesaling. And first time I saw it, I was just sold on it, for one thing, because all the woodwork inside was just beautiful, and you could tell the person who was building that house was a master carpenter. And so I gave her an offer, and she just took it and ran with it. I think she had it over 70, and I got it down to 67. But yeah, it's back to mindset. Yeah, deal flow. I'm not good at deal flow. That's what I'm not good at.
Stop the negative self-talk.
Okay. All right.
So this thing is kind of hard to write with.
Well, I have found that my deal flow works best when I'm just, making connections with wholesalers.
It is what it is, right? So,
yeah.
So the thing with the mindset, though, is the bottom line is you became committed. Okay.
Yes.
You became committed. The truth of the matter is that a truly committed man or woman can move a mountain with a shovel if they're committed enough. All right. You just became committed. And that is simply like, that's the takeaway from everybody on this is, where's your commitment at? Where's your resolve at? You know, and that's what it is the most important thing. So you became committed. You said, damn it, I'm going to go flip some houses. And you may have said, darn it. I maybe said, darn it. I don't know. But you said, I'm going to do this. Let me go find a way. And so deal flow. So you are, basically cut from the same cloth as me, because when I got started, I had no time, desire, or interest really to learn the marketing side to bring in deal flow and to bring, motivated sellers to me. And that worked for about 5 years. That worked for me for about 5 years with wholesalers. Then the market changed. You guys all know my story. I began learning how to market, and it was very painful, and it was very slow. It was very tedious. But we've gotten really, really good at it over the years. But you're kind of at a place right now with my kindergarten handwriting here, where you said, you know what, I don't really want to focus on that, and I don't want to do that. I'm just going to work with wholesalers. So it's less effective, in my opinion, in today's market, but everything in real estate is cyclical. Okay. So what may be working today may not work so well tomorrow, but what worked in the past at some point in time is going to come back around. So I feel like it's going to start changing pretty soon, but y'all can all still get deals with wholesalers, but you need to focus on it. So we're under contract right now on 2 deals. One is a commercial deal that is it may be a home run. Actually, it is a solid deal. It's a commercial office property that we're buying, and it's solid, brought to me from a wholesaler. And the point with that one is, I'll share just real quickly, was this is not going to be an email blast deal. And he told me he doesn't blast his deals out. He has a handful of investors that he works with. And I asked him, I said, man, you could sell this deal for a lot more, right? And, that's maybe not something that you want to tell every wholesaler, but we've kind of become fast friends. And I said, you could sell this deal for more. You know that, right? He said, yeah. He's like, I do, but I don't like to blast deals out. I've had a bad experience with people driving by the houses or properties, trying to contact the sellers and whatnot. So I just keep a handful of people that I trust. I give them solid deals, and that's that. So that was deal flow brought to me by a wholesaler. The other deal that we're under contract on right now is going to be like our projections are 7-figure net profit. and it's a 51 lot subdivision that we're going to develop. That was brought to me by a wholesaler. So the wholesaler myth that you can't get deals from wholesalers is a myth, but what I teach and preach for you guys is just let wholesalers be one basically lead valve that you can open up. But those deals are out there. All right, so you got that deal from a wholesaler. So let's talk about analyzing the deal. Let's talk about estimating repairs. This is a kind of a scary area for a lot of people. Tell me, I know you probably used our rehab estimator or whatever you did, but then you started getting bids. Tell me what, we're not going to dive into that too much right now, but tell me what your initial projected rehab budget was after you began assessing the deal.
Well, I feel like maybe I have a little bit of an advantage when it comes to that sort of thing, because I have had my hands involved in repairs and estimating repairs, and I just have a knack for being able to look at a property and within 5,000 to 10,000 estimate repairs, and I've been pretty accurate so far. Mm-hmm. With Burtwood, we were on target. This one, we were on target until the very end, which you don't know about this yet, Brant. And the one in Taunton that I'm working on right now, we're on target to be on budget. So I don't know. That's just something that comes with experience as far as I'm concerned. But yes, I did use your rehab estimator because I wanted to be able to show you exactly where the money was going.
What was your initial budget?
45. That's what we borrowed.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so brought the deal in, you estimated repairs, so then you began basically your deal analysis. So tell us what you thought the ARV was going to be.
In the beginning, we were thinking the ARV was going to be around 160. Took about 4 months to finally get it on the market. Started looking around. There was a new build down the street. The house came out so beautiful. I mean, it came out a lot prettier than we thought it would. That we pushed the envelope too much.
Pushed it a lot.
Pushed it a lot. We tried to sell it at 240 or closer to 250, and had no luck with that at all. But it was a bad time of year too. Yeah. My realtors were telling me nothing was moving. But so eventually we came down and sold it at 220.
So I remember this. We're on a coaching call, and I was the problem with this deal, guys. It was in a rural area, mm-hmm. and a lot of times rural properties they don't have comps. They don't have recent or similar comps. So you kind of gotta stick your thumb in the air and lick thumb and kind of test the air. What does it feel like? What does that property look and feel like? What is land, proximity to city, et cetera, et cetera. But you kind of got to guess. You kind of have to use a little swag. My police academy instructor used to call that a scientific wild ass guess. That's what swag is. You got to use a little swag. Oh. And so I was like, all right, it's probably more than 160. Didn't we come around like 185 to 195 is where we
yes. Closer to 180 after y'all looked at it some more, between 180 and 190.
And this goes to show you guys, like, I'm not always right. And my wife just left. She was in here in the office. She'll tell you I'm wrong a lot. And, Lynn, when you email me about your deal, that's why I, when I've got my coach hat on, and even kind of like, as a parent, as a father, I don't like to say, yes, do this. No, don't do that kind of thing. Well, I say that a lot actually with my kids, but I like to say, well, here's some things for you to consider. Here's what my experience has been in similar situations, and let you guys decide. So you went, so, well, let's go through the fundamentals. So let's talk about financing. So, you know, I know that you came to me and we funded this deal, you know, and I think it was whatever, 12%, 10%, 12%, not quite sure. But the bottom line is you got private money. And, you know, some people may be watching this and like, well, I can't raise private money. And your network is your net worth. This thing is really hard to write with, so y'all don't judge me. All right, so your network is your net worth, right? And so you've got connections. Like, let's just call it what it is, right, Becky? You've got connections now, and let's talk about with the financing side, rather than all the nuts and bolts about it. It's what is your mindset now with private money or just with financing? If you get a deal under contract, how confident are you that you can get it closed?
Well, I'm very confident that I could find private money. I have the experience under my belt now. But I still have an issue with, can I find it fast enough? Because, you know, things move so fast. Just like this afternoon, I wanted to go look at a house, and he goes, well, can you put earnest money down? And I'm like, I can't get private money that fast. I can't get an answer that fast. So I'm confident I can find it because you've taught me how, you've given me a skill set on how to find it. I just need to work on finding it fast.
Well, you should have it ready and available at all times, right? So, like, even with
so
me,
does that mean like make what's what I'm looking for? Get somebody
offers?
that you, huh?
Or are you saying to make blind offers?
No. I'm saying I need to get a connection with somebody with private money and develop a relationship with them, that sort of thing.
Well, you already have. I mean, you have that with me, but yeah, you should expand that out and have private lenders where you get very, very strong verbal and even written commitments, right? So if you're getting deals that are 70% of ARV minus repairs, there's pretty much not an experienced private lender in the world that's not going to want to loan to you, right? So you start establishing those strong agreements with your lender saying, hey, if I lock up a deal here in the greater Houston area that is 70% minus ARV, can I kind of have that confidence to move forward that you'd be interested in investing with me? And you usually want to have that conversation with 3 to 5 to 10 people or whatever. And the worst case scenario is always if you're getting a 70% deal minus repairs, well, you're going to get it funded. But there's always hard money if you had to go that route, but you shouldn't have to go that route, so you just need to build up your database, so to speak, with some lenders that would like to work with you, and then use the pre-approval, essentially, proof of funds form that I sent you. So that's always there,
Well, so I guess then
conversation though.
I guess what I need to do is to find a lender or lenders that have enough trust in my ability to decide whether it's a good deal or not. Because what slows us down is I might see a good deal that I think's a good deal, and I'll present it to, say, you or whoever. Well, then that person, that lender, has to take their time to analyze the deal and that sort of thing. And that usually takes at least 24 hours. Yep.
You get faster with it. Like I sent I sent an email last night to a lender. They emailed back, said, yep, sure, let's do it. And then it's already sent out the information to my attorney today.
Well, that's because they have trust that you know what you're doing.
Yes,
so I need to get to that point where my lender trusts me when I say this is a good deal. I need some money. I need some money by tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah. Well, remember, private money's always attracted to two things, right? Trustworthy people and good deals. So you can get it. You're just working on building up your experience a little bit, and that's what you're doing. So let's dive into the rehab real quick and look at let's look at some pictures here if you guys don't mind. Okay, so I've got some before pictures. We're just gonna all right. So this is the deal. So this is the little house out in Splendora. Y'all, I'm assuming y'all can all see my screen.
Yeah.
So run through them. This is the house out in Splendora, Texas, which is was that already done or did you do that? The cabinets.
That was already done. The master craftsman was building that, and he became old. Let me tell you the story. He became old and started having dementia, and so he let some meth heads move in with him, I guess, to help him pay utilities or whatever. And then it even became kind of a brothel, even to the point that they had a red light out on the front porch. So, but that was his woodwork. He was a master carpenter.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard a lot of stories whenever a meth head comes in.
Beautiful tight miters. And
I was gonna say, usually when a meth head comes into the story,
well, it had been cleaned out like this. No telling.
Doesn't end well. Usually doesn't end well. We had to run some meth heads out of our RV park, and we had bounty hunters coming to the park, like for people. We did have one person die, and we believe it was natural causes, but rumors got started, and they're like, gee, no, I mean, who knows? There's meth heads there.
All right, so now let me show you some of the after pictures, and I apologize, but the original recording, we lost this section of the after pictures. So let me show you some after pictures. She did a phenomenal job on this rehab. She veered a little off course of what I teach and preach in terms of color selection. We use very neutral colors, the same colors over and over and over on our rehabs typically. So she went a little bit off, but she really, Becky did an amazing job. You see, like, she even had the United States flag, some great color selections, all new siding. The roof, you see that. She actually did some concrete work around the house as well that wasn't there. So you see the finished product. There were the existing cabinets. Their existing cabinets, as you saw in the before pictures, but she put on the countertops, the backsplash, painted them. Of course, the new hardware and probably some other additional millwork in the house. You see the flooring now, the fireplace. For this price point, in our market, this is a medium priced home. So she went a little above and beyond with the fireplace, with kind of the wood shiplap wood fireplace and the I believe it is a electric fireplaces, not gas, and those are really inexpensive. So it does add a nice wow factor, and that's what we call this. It wasn't something that she had to do. Yeah, it wasn't anything that she had to do, but it was a nice value add, a nice little wow factor, and added a little personal touch. It's probably one of the reasons she was able to push her price, to be quite honest, or at least reduce her days in the market. You see the bedrooms, neutral paint color. The color that we typically use is a Sherwin-Williams paint color. It's called a new gray. She went with the dark oil rub bronze knobs, handle, doorknobs, and hardware. Looks like an extra white type of oil-based paint for all of the woodwork. Nice lighting, very nice, just bread and butter type of rehab. Don't need to think too far outside the box here. Nice tile floors. Once again, new countertops, painting the cabinets, hardware, etc., etc. Nice walk-in shower. So this is one thing to look at. So when I first began flipping houses, we would always, without thinking about it, we would install a shower glass and a door. Then showers like this, we started just putting a partition glass, and I believe Becky was doing that. It just wasn't done at the time of this shooting. So then we started doing a partition glass only, and we cut our cost down in half, actually a little bit more than half. And we just started, marketing as a true walk-in shower. So we would put a shower glass partition, but no door, right? So that's something for you to think about as well. And then what we've actually started doing since then is on our rehabs, rather than doing this pony wall, if this is like kind of a gut job, we're doing it from scratch. This would just be a big wide opening thing with a partition glass. Now we would put it on the side where the shower head is, like in this area, but we would do a partition glass, and you would just walk into the shower. So it give it um, a more open feeling and whatnot. Okay. And that's it. So those are the after pictures. So let's get back into the interview with Becky and see, kind of how she did on this deal.
So this is so we said, what did we say in rehab? Refresh my memory.
45. Purchase price was 67.
Okay. Oops. Acquisitions cost was 0. Basically used a wholesaler, and that was included in your purchase price, the
Yes.
assignment fee.
Yes.
Okay, so this is where, let's talk about this. So you and I discussed, you first brought it to us at 160,000 is what you originally thought.
Yes.
And you guys look at this though. The numbers, that's kind of old faithful, is the 70% rule. And so with this particular deal, and I think you may have been 12% financing.
Yes.
Yep. And so with this particular deal though, it's a pretty safe deal, right? Like it's safe. It's safe. And we're looking, all right, if your rehab takes 3 months or 3 months to sell, it's a solid little single, right? It's a solid little single, $20,000 net deal. And we're like, you're good to go. But every now and then, all right, I do it myself. We're actually closing on a property on Thursday. Becky, you remember me talking about my deal up in Bertram, up in Austin?
Yes. That kind of out in the rural area.
Oh, there ain't no kind about it. It is out.
It's way out.
It's way out. And that deal first came to us probably a year ago. And I tried to not do the deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this, I don't know. There's no comps. It's very far away. Don't really want to do it. Not exciting enough to me. And so long story short, the seller kept coming back to us and saying, I trust you. I want you to buy our home. And I'm like, we would love to buy your home. We just can't buy it at the price that you want. And originally they wanted 175. Okay. And the quick numbers on this was 175, about $40,000 to $50,000 in repairs. That means we were going to be in it for about 225. What was it worth? I had no clue, like literally no clue. I'm like, it could be 250. It could be 350 or 400. Literally, I'm not going to get too far into why I could make a story for any of those arguments. But that's what it was. So she kept coming back, and long story short, we ended up buying it for 135. We paid her 125. I paid a $10,000 fee to another company that we work to use, run leads for us, and out of market areas that we do SEO lead gen for. So we ended up buying it for 135. We put $43,000 in repairs in it, and we're at 183, something like that, 185, whatever we borrowed on it. And actually on my lender, 185. We over borrowed a little bit just in case. Well, we put it on the market at 350. Is that a good spread? Borrowed 185, all in at 185, listed 350. It's a good spread. Guess what the market told us? Nothing. Like the crickets chirping, no showings, nothing. I'm like, oh God. But I was okay. And this is working back to your story where I knew that I bought it right. We could drop price if we had to. And so we dropped price 325, boom, immediately under contract. We're closing on Thursday. It's well over a 6-figure net deal. And it was a deal that was out there, right? It was just out there. And we didn't even want to buy the deal, but I'm glad that we did. So my point in sharing that is, guys, like there's times where you can take your chances and you can swing for the fences, right? But always build that protection and don't go into a deal saying, hey, I've got to hit it over the fence in order to make any money, right? Like that's called a long shot. That's called a Hail Mary. This was not Becky's deal. So Becky said, "Hey, Brant and Chris, I think I can sell this thing for $250." And I said, "I think you're nuts," to be honest. And or $240, whatever you said. I think you're nuts. I think best product, best price is always what we try to abide by. Best product, best price. I said 195 or 185, and you'll sell this. You'll make a nice profit. You begged to differ. I think you listed at 225, but sold at 220.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. And so you sent me a screenshot the other day. I think I posted on Facebook, but I didn't text you or reveal your information.
Yeah, I saw it. I think.
Okay, I didn't do it because I didn't ask. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
so,
it's okay.
Oh, this is a brand new computer, so I'm not logged in. So go ahead and share with everybody what the end result was.
Yeah, well, okay, and there's a little caveat to it, though, Brant. So, I ended up selling. I mean, the what I got at the title at closing was $79,000. But how did this work? It would have been even higher, except that upon inspection for the buyer, we realized, and this is something everybody, all of y'all out there need to know. If you're not in the city, if you're on a septic, if your house is on a septic, go ahead and have that thing inspected before you buy that house. Because we ended up, the county is very, very picky about septics. It turned out that we had to put in a whole new aerobic system. They said about $12,000. I finally found somebody that could put it in for $7,500. So that was something that came just, at the very end, right when we're trying to sign papers. Then found out that we had done the rehab all through the summer, never even tried the heater. The air conditioner worked fine. Found out it needed a new heater. So that was another $1,500 over and above on the repairs. So,
boo-hoo. I'm just kidding.
People, have your septics checked. Oh, that was
yeah. We are dealing with septics more and more and more.
Yeah, you are out there at those trailer park
and homes, right? So right now we have a deal going on in Trinity, Texas, Willis, Texas, Conroe, Texas. So, well waters, wells, water wells, septics, yada, yada, yada. It's coming, more and more into play. This 51 lot deal down in Missouri we're working on. So the bottom line is though, is that, you made your mindset up. Hey, I'm going to flip some houses here. You generated relationships with wholesalers. You created deal flow. You built your budget out, even though you did a little bit of the dirty work yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So you got your hands dirty a little bit, and mainly acted as a GC, but did a little bit yourself, and secured financing, right? You got that private money done. You managed the rehab successfully. You put this bad boy on the market. You swung for the fences, and it doesn't always work out like this, guys, but sometimes it does. So we're still looking at nice little about $70K net deal. Is that right?
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. So guys, that is how it's done. That's how it's done.
Let me ask your opinion on something. Before it was even finished, it was close to being finished. Someone gave me an offer of $200,000. Should I have taken that? But in my mind, I thought it was worth quite a bit more, because everybody that came out and saw it is like, oh, this is worth $250, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't. Should I have taken that $200,000 and just been done with it and moved on?
Before it was finished?
It was. She said, when you finish this house, call me. I want it.
Mm-hmm.
For $200,000.
Well, I mean, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm glad I have the extra money now, but I was sure sweating it there for about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's in hindsight, no. Well, I mean, you made the most money this way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there are times where you you kind of want to cut bait. There's times where, you know, that does make sense. So one of the biggest things as a real estate investors, especially, you know, people that are focused full time on flipping or wholesaling, the number one reason that real estate investors don't last in the business, they essentially go out of business, is cash flow, right? Cash reserves, cash flow, right? So sometimes you do what you got to do. Geez, when I was starting in this business, I had a really nice portfolio of rentals, right? Like I built up to like 40 something rentals. One, they stressed me out. So one, it was that, but there were times where I need some cash in my bank account. So I sold some properties that I wish I hadn't have sold, you know, and that was just you did what I had to do, you know.
Yeah.
For you in hindsight, I'm like, heck no, like you did the right thing, you know, and kudos to you, because you hit a home run and you stuck to the plan and you showed me up and Chris up, you know, and said, nope, I'm getting my 220, and you did it. And sometimes it's just like a gut feel too, where, you know, I didn't go out there and take a look at this property or anything like that. Sometimes it's just a gut feel. I remember that another one we'll wrap up here unless anyone has questions, but we had bought this deal, similar thing, very motivated seller, but the house had just flooded. I did not like the deal at all. I was scared about it, scared about the deal. And the guy wanted to sell. And so finally we bought it. And long story short, it was one of those things where I'm like, I can't prove that this house is worth, you know, more than 250 to 275 at max. I can't prove it. Like you can't show me any information, but I had never seen the house in person. I never went out there. My acquisitions guy went out there and Chris had seen it. And Chris was like, no, dude, like I'm telling you, like it's worth more than that. And I was like, no, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't feel confident with that. So we made our offer based on what we could prove, right? Like what we had confidence with. Well, long story short, whenever we put it on market, I went and saw it after the rehab was done, went and took a look at it. And I was like, oh crap, dude, like this is like so peaceful out here. This is so nice. This is like so awesome. The house is small, but it doesn't feel small. And, you know, Chris was like, that's what I've been telling you. And so long story short, we listed it at 329 and had a full price offer that same weekend. But there was no way like really you could justify it. It's just like some houses are better than other houses, right? And so we went with our gut, and that was well over a 6-figure payday. So 6-figure paydays are nice. 70K paydays are nice. So are 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 paydays. They're nice. They're very, very nice. Working my corporate job, I had to fight nail, tooth, and claw like all year long to you know, make $60,000. So congrats, Becky. Thank you for sharing. Do you guys have any questions for Becky? Nope. Okay. Well, if not, I want to talk about Lynn's deal. You guys mind if we shift gears real quick?
Okay, Brant, I'm going to let you talk to them, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Okay, Becky. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, I was happy to.
Right. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, guys. Let's see here. Okay, Lynn, so you want to fill everybody up to date, get everyone up to speed on your deal?
Yes, I found this deal. My agent brought it to me and said that this house is a single family home in